Systems check proceeding as follows. Ceiling 300 Alpha and all systems are go.
Bones are amazing things. They hold us up. They support us. They make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear.
We don't know where we are, but we hear you.
Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. This is Johnny playing Trum, Likey, Flu.
This is Ellie playing Kolohe.
This is Jeff playing Kumu.
This is Jeremy playing Solgrin of Ash.
And I'm Jordan, and I am the Game Master. So previously on Bone Throwers Theater, Wayfinders, The Age of Kama. That is a long title.
Especially when we start to add
episode titles. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's going to be long.
So previously, as you can tell, we are missing one of our major players. Aaron is not able to be with us. He's actually lucky guy. He's in Seattle once again, this time for a wedding. So mazel tov to the couple, and hopefully everybody is having a fantastic time. But the way that we decided to work it out is that Aaron's character has been kidnapped. He was on vacation on the planet of Cygna 9. He had some shore leave. And he sent a message to Kumu and Kolohe letting them know that he was in trouble and needed help.
It was super vague. Come get me.
I ran into my old crew. I'm going to need some help.
We have no idea what old crew means or what need some help means, so we're trying to track him down.
Then Solgrin all went and started a fight and stuff.
Solgrin did not start the fight. He finished it.
And that is an accurate statement.
And then he killed the driver of a dump truck.
And that's how he finished it. He killed the dump truck. Not just the driver, but he killed the dump truck.
I remember that there was definitely some violence. That's essentially where we left off, if I remember correctly.
Yep, and we decided not to carry the dead body.
Yes.
Yay! We win the campaign!
But can you avoid the sewers?
No.
We are going to avoid the sewers and avoid carrying bodies at all costs.
So what do you want to do?
We were fleeing the scene.
Yes.
A little bit begrudgingly.
Are you okay, Kolohe? Since you were trapped in that dumpster?
No, I need a shower.
Well, that's obvious.
Nothing compared to the way you smell.
So, Stinky and the Dumpster Princess are having themselves a conversation.
Episode title?
Smells like failure to me.
That's a good episode title.
Hopefully we don't fail.
So, you decide that you want to go back to the shuttle, is that correct?
Yeah. And we don't have any other leads at this point.
Yeah, since the two guys we were...
Other than
Video.
Finch.
Yeah. But we don't know where he went.
Well, to our knowledge, he never left the shop.
Right.
But we didn't want to stay at the shop because the authorities were coming. So we're running.
Why are we running? The police might be able to help us.
They could. If they're okay with me destroying the opposition.
Well, we don't know unless we ask.
Excuse me, but I just wantonly destroyed property. Are you okay with that?
It was self-defense.
Was it, though?
I rescued a crewmate.
It was
Yes,
self-defense.
it was a rescue.
And to the best of our knowledge, there's no laws against weapons on this planet.
I mean, Solgrin was definitely openly carrying his big wide blade and railgun, so... and no one said anything to him about it.
Yeah.
We have been helping the police with the investigation so far.
So Solgrin stops. So, are we going back, or what?
Well, I think somebody should talk to the authorities.
And you were not involved in the incident at all.
Would you be able to do that for us?
I can do that. No problem. So I go back and I stand by the dumpster. By the dump truck.
It's very hot. Being slagged by a railgun typically heats things up a little bit. You probably don't want to be that close to it. I mean, it is a low gravity planet, so things might pop off and fly further than you would expect.
At this point, it's done exploding.
It smells really awful too.
Probably.
Because there's nothing like the smell of metal and rubber and trash all burning together at the same time. And there's also like a lot of black smoke just billowing out from behind. So it's something of a temporary landmark.
I'm assuming the fire department shows up or whatever they have in the form of thereof.
Emergency services do arrive. We'll go ahead and throw in some fun details. It has like the fire truck that comes pulling up. And one of the things that I think is interesting is that they start using drones as like water carriers to like start dumping on there. So like you have your hose people, you have your hook and ladders, you have the marshal like doing crowd control, but they have like fire suppression, like kind of a foam type of thing that the drones are like spreading around to knock the fire out.
I imagine something that's easy to clean up after.
Yeah, it'll kind of naturally dissipate on its own.
I'm just standing there waiting for somebody that looks like they're not busy that's in charge.
Okay. Obviously, there's a bit of a crowd that has been forming
Yes.
because this is, like you said, a vacation district. And having just spent some time down at the boardwalk, you can imagine there's a lot of affluent people there, but also a lot of really interesting characters. There's people walking up with boom boxes, and they're like in various levels of inebriation, whatever that might mean for different species. So the local authorities do come.
Right. Never mind, I don't see a thing.
No. You get very distracted by a butterfly.
I was going to say I looked through the crowd to see if I recognized anybody from the video I saw.
That's right, you were doing some video flip-throughs at the store next door.
So I imagine the rest of us had just gone like a block or two down, so we're still in the back side of the shop. So Solgrin would still be watching that area to see if there's anybody fleeing.
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Investigation, perception.
I like investigation.
It's all the same. I have nothing boosted under that. Well, goodbye. First roll. I got a 2.
I got a 13. So, unfortunately, you don't really seem to notice anything. There's this really dank smell that's emanating from one of the people that's kind of like in the crowd, like trying to crane their eyes and everything, and it's just like really catching your attention. So even though you're trying to look, you're just kind of like glancing over at this individual, just giving them Solgrin's equivalent of side-eye. Bombastic side-eye, one might say. What about you, Kumu or Kolohe? Are you going to look for anybody, or are you going to still like having your discussion?
No, it was pretty
Further
short.
than
It was over. I was like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "I'm fine."
I smell your failure. Well, maybe you won't fail at like trying to pick up on anybody who might be acting suspicious.
Maybe.
I'll show you acting suspicious.
8.
I rolled a 7.
Nice.
So,
I see someone being suspicious.
you see somebody on the rooftop across from the store. How'd you do?
Nothing. I got nothing.
Okay. I'm sorry. Just wanted.
Alright. Guys? Rooftop. Across from the store.
Meanwhile, we'll go ahead and cut back
Yep.
to you because
I'm standing apart from the crowd, closer to the actual damage.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, but we need you to back up so that emergency vehicles can get through.
I knew exactly what happened here.
You're a witness?
Yes,
Okay. Would you like to give a statement?
absolutely.
All right. The marshal pulls out a notepad. All right. What can you tell me?
Well, my friend, Chloe, was kidnapped and thrown in the back of this dump truck.
Okay.
And in attempting to rescue her, my friend had to shoot the truck to stop it from going.
Hi, yes, stormtroopers. These guys are with the rebellion. I've done this before.
He wasn't trying to damage the city. He just wanted to rescue our friend.
So you're saying that your friend
Yes.
started this fire.
He wasn't trying to start a fire. It just happened by accident.
He shot the vehicle and it exploded.
Yes.
Would you mind pointing your friend out to us?
I look. I don't see him from here.
Go ahead and make a... Jeremy, even or odd?
Odd.
Whoops. Even.
No.
Go ahead and make a deception roll for me.
Deception con, I guess.
Yeah. 11.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
All his red die rolled 6s. No, I don't like this where you're rolling multiple red die now.
Hey, at least it wasn't the wild die.
I thought I was doing pretty good to not roll any ones.
How many dice was it?
4.
4. And then 3 red die. And they're all 6s.
But a 4-to-3 ratio on dice rolls. So I'm trying something with improv target numbers where 1 die is super easy, 2 dice is still pretty easy, 3 moderate, a 4 would start to be difficult. I didn't expect to get a 20 on 4 dice.
I would say I don't see him from here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm looking in the right direction.
How tall are you again?
7'10".
I'm short. There's a crowd in front of me.
Yes, the variety are huge.
Yeah. He's very easy to see.
I'm only 5 foot tall, so.
Yeah. Solgrin, we'll go ahead and say that you're just, in addition to like being really weirded out by the dank smell of whatever this individual is imbibing next to you and trying to keep an eye out, you happen to glance over and you see Trum Likey flew just kind of like flapping his hands around, because I'm sure that you talk with your hands.
Yes.
Gesticulation.
Yes. And all of a sudden, the marshal that he's talking to, the fire marshal, just like starts looking around and he locks eyes with you. And he starts moving through the crowd towards you.
I'll be looking more to the rooftop since it was just pointed out that there's somebody on the rooftop.
Okay.
Yes.
So I may notice, but I'm just like, all right, and then look up at the rooftop.
So on the rooftop, Kumu, you see, it looks like a reptilian race, but not like yours. Not like the Animo. This is more along the lines of your traditional bipedal, like snout, carnivorous teeth.
Gotcha.
And they're dressed in like urban camouflage, like blacks and grays and darker color spectrum mottled in camouflage type of thing. Like they're meant to be moving around without being noticed. So at dusk now, like it would be getting harder to see them. And you see them and they like hold up a communicator, say something really quickly. Their eyes lock on you for just a moment and then they disappear.
Like disappear?
Like,
how?
like
they move and they're gone? Okay.
Not like bamf gone.
Yeah, okay.
Just like they stepped away from the ledge so they're not easily visible anymore.
Solgrin has good eyesight. Is there any other detail that he notices?
I have long sight also.
That's boldful.
No, it's in the species package. Yeah, so I have +2 to sight in low light, so I'll be able to notice more details.
Yes, you would. Ultravision, you took 1 rank in that, +2 to sight-based rolls in low light. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and make a quick perception check.
You will die. 12.
Okay. You noticed that it was not just like some sort of off-the-shelf gear, but it looks like it was a customized ship uniform. Maybe the uniform of a crew or a collective.
Any symbols on the uniform?
Yes.
These little triangular pointed bottoms.
Yes, it's an away team.
Yes.
Was he wearing a red shirt?
No, I think I just said that it was blacks and grays mottled.
Well, I'll make it red.
Depends on what his blood color is.
True.
Purple.
I'll make it purple.
So I'm trying to juggle a couple of different things in my mind because we have the fire marshal now approaching Solgrin, and Solgrin and Kumu have fixated on this individual on the roof. Kolohe, what are you doing?
Kolohe's kind of just grumpy at this point. She's gonna trail behind Kumu and kind of start picking up trash and putting it on him as he walks.
Okay. I'm going to allow that. Go ahead and make me an agility roll. Sleight of hand if you have it.
Three?
I'll allow it.
Wow. It's so easy to annoy you.
Well,
So did I recognize the symbol?
You did. You saw it once in Vireo's quarters.
Okay.
Playing off of a little of our joking, it was 3 triangles, like...
Triforce.
No, but they're separated. So let me see here.
if you draw the Triforce,
I love you, Jeff. Get out. So it's like 3 triangles meeting at the points, and it looks like they're overlaid something that would be a triangle if it was all visible.
Oh, okay. So Solgrin, still peering up at the roof, says, I think we have another lead. Follow me, little ones.
Picks up Kumu and just flings him up on the roof.
You can do that with me.
I probably could. Especially in this gravity.
yeah.
And he just starts to push his way through the crowd of onlookers in that direction.
Go ahead and make me a streetwise roll.
Streetwise? I don't like streetwise. 9.
I rolled an 8. Yay! So you start pushing your way through the crowd. How are you going to get to the top of the building? Are you going to like try and go inside and go up the stairs? You're going to do your best King Kong impression?
I'm not sure I was going to climb the building. Solgrin honestly didn't think he was going to climb the building.
Okay.
I was just going to...
Unless there was a fire ladder.
Yeah. Since he saw the figure move away from the edge and out of sight, he would probably try to go around the back of the building, see if they were coming down the back of the building. Okay.
I'm going to say that you reach the other side of the building. Ellie, can you roll me 4 dice?
Oh, you hear that sound? It sounds like me winning. Yeah? I'm just kidding. 17.
Okay, cool. So the fire marshal is working his way closer to you. He's following you, and you start hearing, "Excuse me, I need to speak to you."
I guess he would be behind him at this point, since he's kind of glances like, kind of busy.
Trum, are you with the fire marshal, or did you stay behind?
I stayed behind. I'm really totally for the police.
You'll find some police in a moment.
Yep.
I really need to speak to you about the fire.
I need to speak whoever's on that roof about this fire as well.
I don't see anybody on this roof. Are you feeling all right?
Went back from the ledge. I speak up. There is someone up there.
As Kolohe is still putting trash on Kumu. Balance the soda can.
May the record show that Jeff now has a soda can on his head.
And a sticky note on his sleeve.
But anyway, I think you're really going to have to persuade the fire marshal to let you go up on the roof.
Is there a way up on the roof?
Even or odd?
Even.
Even. Yes, there is.
Of course, it was the red die.
Hey, it worked out in your favor. Don't ask questions.
Now it does, except when you roll against me, and then 3 6s. Is it a ladder, or is it like a staircase?
Ladder, like a fire escape type of thing. It looks like it's in good condition, which is impressive considering that this is a rather like humid environment.
Solgrin looks at Kumu and Kolohe. He's like, do either of you have your weapon?
I pull out my weapon.
What is your weapon again?
Isn't that ring blade thing?
I think so.
And
that-
then our own like physical body, like
Yeah.
claws,
Like claws and
tail. We're more brute strength. Nothing compared to you.
Then we'll look to Kumu and be like, go up. I'll cover you.
start climbing.
Okay, how many dice do you have in climbing?
I've got 4D plus 2.
And Solgrin readies his blaster
No!
rifle. Oh
I
my
hate
gosh.
Do you want to use a fate point?
He has to use character points.
Well, he could use a fate point to re-roll.
Well, yes, he could.
Would you like to try and climb as well? Show your brother up?
Probably won't.
You did.
Probably will.
You climbed over him.
14.
Use me as a ladder.
I
to
will
get up
actually
there.
allow that because I was 1 point above you for the target number. So we'll go ahead and say that you succeed with a fail forward. You're climbing up, but you're making a lot of noise. It might attract attention of someone at top.
Solgrin has his blaster rifle ready.
Oh, I'm sure.
Pointed at the top.
Fair enough.
Hey, Kumu. Do you taste anything? Oh, it's my dust. That's right. Bye.
It's that trash falling off your face. Oh,
And
that's
straight
just
onto
your
yours. Bye.
It's just your looks.
You look like me, you dummy.
Never said I was pretty.
Never said you were smart either, huh?
Focus!
So just to recap, we have Kolohe going up a ladder. We have Kumu getting insulted by Kolohe. Solgrin of Ash is keeping watch with the fire marshal just kind of standing to the side, just like bewildered at like the turn of events in his sleepy holiday resort town. And we have Trum Likey Flew looking for the police so he can report on his friends. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll find out what happens right after this.
Do you ever wonder when Spider-Man goes to the bathroom if the toilet paper sticks to his fingers?
Do you ever wonder why Superman wears his underwear outside of his pants?
My name is Imran.
My name is Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's the nerd.
And we're your hosts for the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we sometimes try to attempt to answer these questions.
This is a full spoiler podcast, and we swear a lot.
Check it out for awesome geek news, interviews, and comic book reviews. Visit jockandnerd.com. We are your superhero TV, movies, and comic book culture curators.
Boom.
Jockandnerd.com. Jock and Nerd.
Welcome back.
I would like to attempt to climb again.
Okay. Go ahead.
Better.
16.
16.
You're following right behind Kolohe.
Move faster.
For who?
To catch the guy.
Oh, sure.
So you reach the top of the ladder. There's a shuttle on the top of the building. It's a small one, large enough for a single person. And you can tell that it's starting to power up.
Oh no, Kumu, come on, let's go. Go, go, go.
Can you hear that from down below?
Hear her say,
Oh, the shuttle
me
started.
or the shuttle?
go ahead and make me a perception roll.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. To hear.
The ship starting on the roof.
You hear that.
I would like to roll my running.
To try and catch up with the ship.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
24.
I rolled an 18. So go ahead and describe what you do as you approach the ship as it is starting its powering up.
Yeah, I'm gonna gallop over, claws out, and just full on jump onto it and start tearing at the door, pull it open.
Okay. Kolohe, would you like to try and assist with the disabling of the shuttle, or would you like to allow your brother to half-ass the job?
I'm gonna get that from all angles, aren't I?
Well, here's the thing, is that it's a great character development thing. And so, as the GM, I kind of have to lean into the personality of the player that I'm addressing, right? And so,
That's fair.
if she did something and you want to participate, I'd be like, do you want to really go show her how it's actually done? That kind of thing. It's not anything personal. It's just
Oh, it's very personal.
It's not personal from me. I'm just trying to kill all of you.
So hearing the ruckus on the roof,
Yes.
Solgrin's going to climb the ladder.
I like that idea. Just give me one moment. Would you like to help your brother out? Show him how things are done?
Sure. I'll help my brother.
Thanks for the assist, sis.
Welcome.
Would you like to actually just provide moral support, or would you like to actually...
I help physically.
Okay. And how would we do that?
Physically, what are you doing with the door?
I'm grabbing the handle.
What kind of
and-
handle are we looking at here? Is it large enough for a...
Ball to fit into it.
Right.
Yes.
But several claws.
It would be more like a canopy kind of situation.
Okay.
So it's a flip up.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the door of a DeLorean.
I want to use my claws to wrench into the seams, the closures, and start trying to pry it open.
Okay. That would probably be a strength roll. Straight up brute strength.
That's not bad.
Okay, and you're climbing the ladder. Go ahead and make me an agility.
That's not bad either.
Climbing roll.
19.
24.
So you are like literally pirouetting up the ladder.
5 rungs at a time.
I was going to say, like, you can skip a few rungs because of one, lack of like lower gravity, and 2, strength, and your reach is probably.
How many stories is this building?
Oh, yeah. I was assuming just a 2-story building.
It's like 3 or 4 stories, but it's not going to be long. Like, with all of those factors, you could easily get up in a single turn. You reach the top. Kumu, I'm assuming you're on top of the fighter?
Yeah, just trying to
rip
it open
from the
best
top,
I can.
and Kolohe, you're at the bottom. You're trying to rip it off, and you can see the engines are starting to turn over. Like, he wants to get off the ground and try and like shake them off the vehicle when you reach the top.
Would I roll mechanical to see if I know anything about this type of shuttle? Like how to disable it safely?
Here's the thing.
That would probably
be technical.
Oh, gosh. Really? No, vehicle operation is under
Operations
mechanical. And I want to know how to make it not operable. So that would be vehicle operation.
That would be vehicle repair.
No, I'm not trying to repair it. I'm the opposite of repairing.
Opposite of repairing is easy. That's called strength. Or melee.
Yes.
Yes, but to know how to do it in the most effective.
You start another fire.
Without starting another huge problem. That's what I'm trying to say. I think that would be mechanical.
Don't you have your giant weapon?
I do.
Not the gun, the other one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Can I roll mechanical to at least see if I know how to disable
Where the engine is to disable it?
I mean, it's only 2D plus 1.
What's your technical? Just right here.
1D plus 1. I remember I took the disadvantage of learning problems with technical.
Sure. I'll go ahead and allow you to do mechanical. Do you have? You all have comms, I'm assuming.
No.
I rolled a 7.
Let's see if my dice are high. No, I rolled a 1 on my wild dice, so enjoy it while you can. You see an exhaust port that you could probably, if you could disable that, might overload the system and cause it to basically shut down. Jeff, roll me a single die. Ellie, go ahead and roll me a single die.
Is there anything on the roof?
Yes. There's some HVAC equipment. There's like what looks like a storage shed. There's a chlorine tank for a pool.
No.
2.
Okay, cool.
5.
You are closest to the exhaust port.
Okay.
I don't want it to leave the rooftop, so I'm going to, since I recognize the exhaust port, I'm going to kind of go up to where I think the exhaust port would connect into the main system of the ship and just take that wide blade and just...
That sounds like pretty much a brute strength roll. Or melee.
Melee. An extra plus on strength.
Okay.
16, 17.
13. So you're able to go ahead and just right in. Go ahead and describe what the ship does.
Like sputters. You hear like a static, like electrical, like sparks from the inside, and then the engines that were whirring up start to just whir down.
Okay. Let's go ahead and pause a moment here because meanwhile...
Officer.
Yes.
So, we need your help.
Well, I'm in the middle of a crowd control for an emergency situation here.
Yeah, it's about the emergency situation.
What do you mean?
Well, the emergency situation started when the guy who was driving the truck kidnapped one of my friends. Actually, it started just before that. And that's why I need your help.
I'm confused. So you're saying that one of your friends is kidnapped?
No.
Were they caught in the fire?
No, we rescued her.
Was there somebody in the vehicle when it caught on fire?
Well, not alive. It's very sad. Driver had died. But our friend was in the back. But we got her out.
Point of order. She was in the dumpster that they was going to pick up.
Yes.
Yeah, but he wasn't there.
Yeah. I was in the store at that point. But they were trying to kidnap her and take her away, and I think that the driver is associated with the owner of this store here.
What makes you think that?
Because there was a confrontation in the store. Did it get violent? Almost, but not quite. And as soon as we stepped outside is when things went bad.
So you're saying that you went into a store, there was an argument with someone working in the store.
Yes.
You come out, and your friend gets kidnapped in a dumpster?
Yes.
It's not the craziest thing we've tried to explain on this podcast. This actually sounds pretty sane in comparison to some of the things that Jeff has had to try and explain.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, we were in the store because we're looking for another friend of ours that disappeared. And from the video we saw at the hotel, it looks like he was kidnapped as well.
So you're saying that there's a string of kidnappings happening here on Sigma 9?
Yes.
And that this store and the dump truck that got obliterated in the back are associated with that?
I believe so.
And what's your name?
My name is Trum.
Trum?
Trum Likey Flew.
Likey Flew. Let me see your identification.
Show my identification.
So you're not from here?
No, we came here looking for our friend that got kidnapped from the hotel.
Okay. Do you think you can come down to the station and make a more complete statement? Because this is a lot to handle, and I'm trying to deal with this crowd here.
Okay, what time do you want me to come by?
At your earliest possible convenience.
Okay.
Is the ruckus on the rooftop being heard from the people down below?
Yeah, it is. So, as Trum Likey Flew is walking away, there's more smoke that suddenly starts to appear on the top of a nearby rooftop, not too far away. And it looks like there's some scuffling happening on the top of the building.
If I can see the top, I can see clearly. Because I have long sight, so I can see details from far away.
Go ahead and make me a perception roll, yeah.
8. 11.
Being a short boy.
Yeah, that's why I said if I can see them.
Yes. You can see the smoke coming from when the big giant knife got shoved into the exhaust system.
But I can't see exactly what's going on.
But you can't exactly see what's going on.
That's fair. I pointed to the officer I was talking to and said, there's smoke up there too.
We're gonna need some backup, he says into his comm unit.
I hope it's not another fire. That'd be bad.
Where's your friend?
I think he was heading back to our shuttle.
Alright, why don't you go get them and bring them to the police station as well?
Okay, I can do that.
I love you. You're the world's best informant.
See, from Trump's point of view, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I know. Wayfinder immunity covers a multitude of sins.
Ooh. Do we have immunity?
Probably not. Trum Likey Flew might think you do, though. You're not on official business.
We're not on official Wayfinder business, yes. No, we're not.
So I start heading back to the shuttle.
Okay.
So, honestly, what Solgrin would do next...
Okay. Transitioning back to the rooftop.
So, you actually might hear this.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get to the pilot? I'm assuming it's a small, one-person, shuttlecraft.
Correct.
Have we been any kind of successful at opening the door?
What were your rolls again for that? I'm sorry.
I don't think they rolled the strength.
Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can get the canopy open. Then yes, that would be the easiest way. Did you just roll a 6 on your wild
Yes,
die?
he did. And another 6.
25.
Cool. I rolled a 16.
13.
What I'm hearing is that Kumu provides the brute strength, and Kolohe provides
Everything else.
The snark.
the insight on how to properly apply the brute strength.
Be nothing without me.
Solgrin pulls his blade out of the ship, walks to the wrenched opening, points his blade right at the symbol on the uniform, and this is what you might hear. It's like, "Where is Vireo?"
You shout it.
Yes.
That sounds like an intimidation check.
I guess I should probably roll perception to see if I do hear that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop on this one.
Okay, sounds good.
My intimidation for some reason is not.
I got a
great.
7 for perception.
Wait, so
Don't you have a natural intimidation bonus?
I do. For flavor text, Solgrin's eyes are completely red.
Which might be an intimidating sight.
Yeah.
Then we did just rip open his door.
Yeah. But I doubled. So 24.
Okay. You're successful.
You want to roll to see if you notice that?
I rolled a 7.
Ooh.
We'll go ahead and say that's a pretty easy thing to notice is the sound of your friend's voice just like booming out from a smoky rooftop.
Okay. Oh, he's over there. I start walking towards that building.
I feel like you're very similar to the character in Wreck-It Ralph, the one who has the hammer at the first start. And like damage is like happening all around you and you're like, oh, well now I have a mission.
Yep.
Honestly, you remind me so far of the bird character from Neverending Story 2. So far, what you're reminding me of.
I was thinking, I'm like Big Bird, only smaller.
Oh boy, a sesame seed sandwich.
I'm Short Bird.
So you asked where Vireo was.
Yes.
In the most intimidating way possible.
Pointing the tip of his wide blade at the symbol on his uniform, conveying a lot more than just a simple question.
Answer my question or you're dead.
And also, I know that you know.
So he snarls at you and says, the Icona Consortium never gives up its secrets. And you can just see him crunch down and start foaming at the mouth.
Let me write that down.
Kumu Consortium.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and end the episode. Thanks very much for listening to this episode of Bone Throwers Theater. Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Ellie, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is bonethrowerstheater. You can also look us up on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.